Intermittent fasting or time-restricted eating. It seems like everybody's jumping on the bandwagon today. They want to use it as a tool to help them lose weight. But it seems like a lot of people just have a hard time, either one, starting it, or two, once they do start it, trying to figure out the right schedule. And there just seems to be a lot of misconceptions. I have 4 things today I want to talk about that I think are some of the biggest misconceptions that people have about it. So, number 1, first and foremost, intermittent fasting isn't a diet per se. All it is a schedule. Okay? So what we do is we schedule our eating throughout the day. We set time parameters for when we're going to eat. And then within that parameter, let's say we start with the most common one, which is a 16-8. 16 hours fasted, 8-hour feeding window. So in that 8 hours, we want to have 2 or 3 meals. No snacks in between those meals, just the 2 or 3 solid meals. Snacking is a bunch of bullshit that was made up by food companies to keep us eating. There's no need. If you eat nutritious meals, 2 or 3 meals in an 8-hour window, there's no reason for you to be snacking whatsoever. So all it is just we schedule everything in our life. Okay, you schedule your work hours, you schedule your activity, whatever you do in life, you have a schedule, you have a to-do list, and we always go by some type of schedule for the most part. So what we want to do is just schedule our eating. It's just something else that we can schedule. We don't have to be shoving stuff in our mouth all hours of the day from the minute we wake up until we go to sleep at night. It's not the way to do it. It's a recipe for disaster. You're going to gain weight doing that. So you have to rein it in a little bit, and one of the best ways to do it is to schedule when you're going to eat. And a lot of people are hung up on the schedule itself. Well, what is my eating? Let's say I'm going to allow myself an 8-hour eating window. What 8 hours should I eat? Well, you're the only one that can answer that. It has to go according to your life schedule. What are your work hours? You take care of kids, whatever you do during the day, you have to allow that 8-hour window, or whatever it's going to be, a 6-hour, 4, however you want to design it. You do it. It's up to you to do it, and it has to fit in. It has to be sustainable within your life schedule. So now, number 2, most people think that if they do create this eating schedule and they say, well, I'm only going to eat 8 hours a day, so many times people ask, well, can I eat whatever I want? Can I still eat whatever I eat, but just eat it within this schedule? Absolutely not. If you're using intermittent fasting to try and lose weight, you have to look at what got you to that point. What were you eating up to that point if you have metabolic issues, if you're overweight, whatever it is? What did you do up to that point to get in that condition? So why would you think that you would keep on doing what you did in the past and expect a change? You can't. Okay, so you have to schedule your meals within this time frame, and then gradually, over time, make changes to what you eat. You have to look at the things that you've been eating and start getting out the sugar, the processed foods, all the shit that we've been sticking in our mouth for years and years, all made by the food companies. And they're all designed, they're all concocted just to make us keep eating them, okay? Those are the things that we have to get out of our lives and start eating whole, unprocessed foods. Now, we're addicted, and that's all by design. They make these foods by design to keep us eating and to keep us addicted. You have to break the addiction. You have to start changing what you eat. You have to switch over to unprocessed food, to natural foods, healthy foods, and get the ultra-processed foods that are loaded with sugar, toxic oils, salt. That's what we have to get out of our diet in order to start losing weight, and more importantly, getting healthy. So if you go into any supermarket, we have roughly 600,000 food items that are for sale in supermarkets. Of those 600,000, 480,000 roughly contain added sugar. That's almost 5 out of 6 products in a supermarket has added sugar. We are addicts. We are sugar addicts, carb addicts, whatever term you want to use. But we're addicted to this food, and we have to break that addiction. Just like a smoker breaks an addiction, a drug addict breaks an addiction, we have to break the food addiction. So if you think that you're just going to keep on doing what you've been doing and you're going to get different results, but just because you only do it 8 hours a day, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. You look today how prevalent the things like bariatric surgery are. And how many people have gotten that surgery, have had bariatric surgery, lost a ton of weight initially, but it's all a bunch of bullshit because these doctors will give you this surgery and they don't teach you anything else. They don't teach you how to eat. People just think they're going to go away and forever they're going to eat exactly what they ate before, but just a little tiny bit of it. Well, it doesn't work. I'm sure, you know somebody, or you've heard of somebody that has had that surgery and gained all the weight back because they kept on eating what they were eating. So no, we can't just go to an intermittent fasting schedule, say a 16-8 schedule, and then say, well, I'm going to keep that 8-hour eating window, but I'll still eat what I ate before. It's not going to work. It's not going to work for health reasons or weight loss reasons. It will not work in the end. We have to change what we eat, and more importantly, we have to break the addictions. It's going to take time, but you can do it. Now, number 3, and this one drives me out of my skull. People are ready to go. They're going to start intermittent fasting. I'm going to do a 16-8 schedule. Here we go. Next question. What can I eat or drink while I'm fasting? Well, fasting means to abstain. So the short answer would be nothing. But obviously, we're going to have water. They say that black coffee, black tea is allowable. So let's go with that. So for a few hours a day, you're just going to go with drinking those liquids. But people have to push the envelope, okay? You're fasting. I've seen these ridiculous posts, this total bullshit, and I don't know where people get it from. Well, you can have something as long as it's not more than 50 calories. And then people say, well, can I take my supplements while I'm fasting? Why? Why just take them with your food when you're eating? Take them in your eating window. The people with the diet soda, with these poison artificial sweeteners. And we can go back and forth about, obviously they're not going to raise your blood sugar, but there is some evidence that they will elicit an insulin response. And that's the last thing we want when we're trying to lose weight. And then people are constantly posting pictures of these bullshit energy drinks, the Bang and the 5 Hour and whatever shit brand that they have out there of that. Can I have this? It's loaded with chemicals. Most of them have sugar, if not the artificial sweetener. And you just shouldn't be having them. There's no need to have them. Water, black coffee, black tea for a few hours a day. Simple enough. But people just have to keep pushing the envelope. It makes no sense at all. It's fasting. The best thing you could do for your body is to put nothing in it. It's going to help you start burning fat. It's going to help you with some health issues. It's the best thing you could do. You're not going to starve. You don't need energy drinks. You don't need diet soda. You don't need any of that. So just stick to the plan. Simple. Now, number 4, I think it's a big obstacle for most people, is that they just can't stay consistent. They just can't keep it going. The number 1 rule in life is that we reap what we sow. You want to call it the law of cause and effect, but we're going to reap the benefits or the detriments of what we do every single day. But most of us keep thinking that we're going to override that rule, that it doesn't really apply to us, that we can eat the shit and still lose the weight. And people look at that as some type of badge of honor. Well, I could drink all the diet soda I want. I could eat the shit food that I want, and I'm still losing weight. But what about your health? Nobody thinks about you in the long run, what effect that's going to have on your health. Fine, if you want, it is dangerous to have that extra weight on your body, but there are other health aspects that you have to look at too. And we all want things yesterday. How many times I hear from people, well, I fasted for a week, I fasted for 2 weeks, I lost 2 pounds, I gained a pound, it's not working. You didn't get metabolically sick, you didn't get obese in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. It takes time. You have to be consistent. You have to do it day in and day out, make it a part of your life, and it works. But only if you commit to the changes and you're consistent with those changes. So I read a post the other day from a woman who, and the post basically said, I'm paraphrasing, but I'm going to start a 16-8 schedule tomorrow. But I have a problem. My friends are coming over for dinner on Friday and we want to drink wine. What should I do? Now, this woman didn't even start, and she was worried about drinking wine on the weekend. Does that sound like somebody who's committed or who's going to be consistent? And the ridiculous answers that she got were things like, go right ahead, enjoy your wine, delay, don't deny. It's just more people looking for validation for their bullshit, for doing things the wrong way, and to say they're changing and thinking they're changing, but they're not really changing. They refuse to make the changes because it's a little uncomfortable. A little bit uncomfortable. And we don't like change, and we don't like to be uncomfortable. And unfortunately, in the long run, being sick, overweight, and unhealthy is going to be much more uncomfortable than beating a food addiction and scheduling your food, scheduling your eating time every day. So you have to be consistent. You have to change your mindset. It all starts up here first. Once you get your mind straight, everything else is going to fall into place. We change the mindset, we make our schedule, start breaking those addictions, lose the weight, and get healthy. Good luck with your fasting. I know you can do it. Give it a try. Stick with it. Be consistent, and you'll be successful. Leave a question or a comment below, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.